ever heard coyotes howling, it sounds like there's got to be at least 20 of them, right? And the reason for that is because coyotes have an adaptation in their vocal cords, and they can make yips and howls and sounds on purpose to make themselves sound like there's a lot of them, and it is one of their adaptations. It keeps other coyotes from hunting into their territory, and it's also communication between the coyotes in their family unit so that they can take stock of who's around and who's not. I'm going to take a chance here, if you'll let me, and try to play this video so you can hear it and see it and hopefully be able to get back. I've never had it, the presentation do that before, but hopefully we'll be able to hear this. Hold on to your dog because okay.
Sometimes you hear it over here, and you definitely hear it on the cameras here.
And they're probably vocalizing to each other and warning.
Yeah, cross over the road at the end over here.
Yeah, and for those of you that haven't lived around here long, there used to be a chicken ranch right here. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm guessing that that chicken ranch was kind of like a buffet for coyotes. So you know you've got coyotes who love this territory. Okay, myth or fact?
It's not normal to see coyotes during the daytime. Is that myth or fact?
Is it abnormal to see a coyote in the daytime? It's also a myth. Wild coyotes are diurnal, which means that they usually run around in the daytime and also most active right around dawn and dusk. But our urban coyotes, again, because they're so clever and so smart, they have figured out that they need to avoid people. So they have become nocturnal. And in the study that I did in our community in Lake San Marcos, we monitored when people were reporting when they were seeing coyotes. We have a survey set up on the website for Lake San Marcos residents to record when they are seeing or encountering coyotes. And there were no coyote encounters in 1 year between October 2015 and October 2016 between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. But the highest times that people were seeing coyotes was right before, right around dawn, when people were walking their dogs at 6 a.m., at 7 a.m. That's when the coyotes are still walking around our golf courses and around the lake. And then during the dusk time and certainly in the evening. So it is not unusual to see a coyote in the daytime, and you all that are living in this interface between the wildlands and this new development, you may absolutely see coyotes in the daytime. And it's not unusual, but it can certainly be unnerving. The next group of statements we're going to look at is coyote conflicts.
We have seen that coyotes do eat meat along with other kinds of food. So is it a myth or a fact that coyotes will attack humans just as they would a rabbit or another mammal?
So nobody here thinks that the coyotes would attack a human.
Not as they would an animal.
As they would an animal. Coyotes are naturally shy. They are secretive and they are way more afraid of you than you are of them when they are in their natural environment. They're really, really smart though. and they can learn to lose that natural fear of people. And when that happens, they become habituated to people. And that's when coyotes can become a problem. Because if they become habituated to people and they don't think that people are a threat to them, then they can become aggressive. In the research that I looked at between 1960 and 2006, there was about 150 attacks on people. Most of them were toddlers that were left unattended in a yard. And researchers think that the coyotes see the sudden bursts of movements and jerkiness of a toddler much like they see their prey. The other thing is there's only been one confirmed death of a child by a coyote. It was in Pasadena in Southern California. In fact, coyotes have been a issue in Southern California longer than anywhere else in the United States. And that was attributed also to the neighbors feeding the coyote. And the coyote had become habituated to people. So again, whether you love them or hate them, you don't want to feed them. Whether that's leaving your dog food out or your cat food out inadvertently because your dog is an outside dog, poor thing. Or you love them and you're thinking, oh, we have this new development and these poor coyotes have nothing to eat, so I'm going to leave food out for them. It's a death sentence for the coyote, not to mention the harm and the safety issue that it might be for that child.
Myth or fact? Coyotes are protective and therefore most dangerous during the mating and pupping season.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I mean, we're protective of our young as well. And so coyotes are most protective during their breeding season, the pupping season, and the denning season. And as you can see, that's going to go from half the year, from about January to July. So right now we're in the denning and rearing the pup season. And so if you see coyotes, you want to be careful that you're not near a den or they feel cornered or they feel that their pups are threatened. And if that's the case, in a few minutes we're going to show you what to do.
We often put up fences to keep intruders out and our pets in. But will that work for coyotes? Is it a myth or a fact that you can protect your pets from coyotes by putting up a fence?
So some people say, well, it might be a myth, but it depends on the fence. Okay, well, coyotes are really good jumpers. They can easily jump a 6-foot fence. And I don't know if you can see some of these pictures, but they can scale a wood fence, a chain link fence, a earthen fence. They are extremely good jumpers. And some people have tried some different things. I don't know if you can see this. This is called a coyote roller. And what it is a metal bar that you can put on the top of a chain link fence. And when the coyote jumps up and grabs with its front legs, the bar rolls so that they can't get a leg hold. I'm not sure I would trust the coyote roller to protect my dog unattended in my yard in a situation where I knew that there were coyotes in the neighborhood. This is a really interesting little invention, and actually I think that the guy who invented this is from San Diego, and it's called a coyote vest. So you can buy it for your little dog, and it has all sorts of attachments, including an electric collar, these little pokey things that help the dog spikes. It's made out of a Kevlar material, so that supposedly, and actually people say that it works pretty well. If a coyote tries to grab a hold of them, they can't bite through that. Again, I wouldn't leave my dog, this size especially, unattended with a coyote vest on.
The other thing you can do is have a long hard shrub right against the fence. And then the coyote can't tell where the top is. And that was advice to a friend of mine from the wild animal.
Can everybody hear this? Her suggestion is that she got from somebody at the wild animal park is to have shrubs right next to the fence so that they can't tell where the top is. Is that correct?
I always come up to my front yard, but they don't go in my backyard because it's a jungle back there.
However, if it's too much of a jungle, then they see it as a resting spot and a nice denning spot. So many of the experts recommend that you don't leave it jungly. Yeah, and they have to get in first, for sure. Coyotes also dig under fences. So if you think you're safe because you have a 12-foot fence, be careful, because then they'll just start digging underneath it. So again, very clever, very smart, opportunistic. So what do we do about it? How are we going to coexist with coyotes? First statement.
Are human behaviors the main reason coyotes have become a problem in neighborhoods? Is that a myth or a fact?
Yeah, as I've been saying, coyotes become habituated to people because they are so smart. Coyotes will sit and watch behaviors of people. They pass that information on to their young. So for instance, if you have a normal routine, a daily routine with your dog, and you go out at the same time every single morning, and the coyotes are watching and know that, then your dog could be in for a problem with the coyote. If you let that dog out in your yard every morning at the same time, the coyotes are watching. They're clever and they're opportunistic. So you want to change up your routine. You don't want to have the same routine every morning with your dog. If you leave dog and cat food outside, it's an invitation for them to come into your yard. They really don't know the difference. Your small little dogs, the little dogs that were out here just a few minutes ago, the coyotes don't know the difference between that little dog and the prey that they normally eat, a rabbit or perhaps a rat, if it's a little chihuahua. Letting your cats live outside, and as a veterinarian I just have to say, for a lot of reasons you shouldn't let your cats live outside. But even more than that, a coyote cannot tell the difference between a rabbit and a cat, and they're going to go after the cat just like they would a rabbit. I can say that the research that I did and has been substantiated by other researchers, only about 2% of the coyote's diet is feral cats. Doesn't matter if it's your cat. Doesn't matter if it's 1.1%, right, if it's your cat. But it's not a huge part of their diet. Just like some of the other things here, the fallen food on the ground that we've talked about, compost piles, if you compost, that's going to be an attractant. Unsecured garbage cans, although again, garbage is not a huge part of the coyote's diet. It's been studied extensively. But if it becomes a problem in your neighborhood, you want to be sure to put your garbage cans out right before the trucks come, or secure the garbage cans. I know we have to use the ones they give us. That's how it is here too. But you want to secure it until they come to get it. We also want to make sure that our dogs are not left unattended. And when you're walking with them, they're on leash, especially in an interface like this. So there are a lot of things that we can do, because we really are smarter than the coyote. They're smart, but we're smarter. And that's what we have to remember when we are learning to coexist with them.
It certainly sounds like a doable solution. Is it a myth or a fact that a good solution is to trap and relocate all of the coyotes in our neighborhood to ensure we don't have any more encounters with them?
Yeah, you all got it right. And the reason that it is a myth is that it's rarely effective. First of all, if you trap a coyote in California, the only thing you can do is either release it right where you trapped it or kill it. If you do kill a coyote in its territory, the rest of the family unit becomes obviously aware that that has happened, and they have a physiologic response, so they have a larger litter the next year. If you kill the whole entire family unit in a territory, another group of coyotes will just fill the vacuum. And so the research is showing that the worst thing we can do is what has been done to the coyote for hundreds of years, and that is to try to kill every one of them. The research shows that if we leave them and learn to coexist with them, they will probably reach a stable population within their territories, and they will not reproduce in large litters, and they will themselves stabilize their populations within the territories that they have. The other thing that's important is that if we got rid of the coyotes, we're going to increase the number of rodents, we're going to increase probably the number of snakes, and these are some of the benefits of coyotes, of eating rodents and eating snakes that can be harmful to our pets and rodents that may carry human diseases.
Is there a reason they won't eat rabbit? Because we're on a trail where they just come running through, and my neighbor and me, we see rabbits like crazy, but then we see these guys just, you know, hitting somewhere, and there's rabbits everywhere. Is there a season they won't eat them, or a reason they won't eat them?
No, they eat them. It may be that you have a lot of them, or they were full when you saw them. They do eat rabbits. For sure they eat rabbits. And it may be cyclic, you know, as far as when you're seeing a boom of rabbits.
Well, we see them run through, and the neighbor's got 6 or 7 on his lawn. I have maybe 3 or 4. But we see them, you know, like 2 of them just kind of running through, like
The
they're on
coyotes.
their way somewhere.
Not sure what the
What they're
factor is for them not getting them then, but if it's what coyotes again are really smart, and what they do is they figure out what takes the least energy to get the food that they need. If that is a rabbit, they're going to grab it. If it's your cat, you know, that happens to be right there and not running away, so they're going to use the least amount of energy to get their food. If a coyote becomes habituated to people, an individual coyote, and it is causing a problem in a neighborhood in California, Fish and Wildlife is called in, and then Fish and Wildlife, along with Animal Control, makes the call on what they do with that individual coyote. But if they do trap it, they're going to euthanize it. So again, if you are a wildlife lover, you want to be sure that those coyotes stay wild. It's the best thing you can do for the coyote, and the best thing you can do for your neighbors.
If you do come across a coyote on your walk, in your yard, or in the public places in our community, what is the best course of action? Is it a myth or a fact that you should stay as quiet and still as possible?
Looks like we have 100% agreement that it's a myth. So what should you do?
Just keep walking.
Will you come up here? Yes, because you have the right answer. Come on up.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, studies have shown that the appropriate thing to do, what is your name?
Susan.
Is exactly what Susan was doing back there. Do it, Susan. Put it together. You want to be big, bad, and loud. And in our community, the kids in the elementary school made these coyote shakers for our community members. They're just little rocks in a soda can. And we are teaching our community to be big, bad, and loud. Go away, coyote! Go away, coyote! Go away, coyote! And you stop at them. And if they don't go away because their usual response is to look at you because they're not used to people doing anything, then you stop some more. Go away, coyote! You want to try it?
Yeah, quick question. Regarding that part, will allow dog barking or dogs barking?
That's a great question. Another study I did in our community was to see if the coyotes approached or had more encounters in our community when the owner was, when a walker was with a dog than when they weren't. And in fact, coyotes will either see a dog as a competitor because they're in their territory, or they see them as prey. And so, but in my research, they didn't approach them any more often. So I would not count on your dog, even that beautiful Rottweiler that was here a minute ago. I would not count on that chasing the coyote away.
No, dogs barking. Would that be like a real loud and boisterous bark? Would that be something that they're like, no, coming in anyway, or?
It may be that they're feeling, why is this dog in my territory?
Okay.
And if it's a big dog, they're not going to waste the energy on a Rottweiler like that. They're going to go the other way. But if it's a little Chihuahua who's, yeah, then maybe it's prey and what's it doing in my territory if it's a competitor.
Got it. Okay, awesome.
So we're going to watch a little. We're going to watch a little video, another short video, and hopefully get back to where we need to, that shows you exactly how to haze a coyote, and that's the terminology that's used. I don't really like the term because hazing has such a horrible connotation. But those of you that love wildlife, I want you to remember, making sure that we instill the natural fear that coyotes have of people is the best thing you can do for coyotes. And if you hate them, you're going to love having a coyote. Yelling at the coyote, right? So let's look at a community that has done this, and there's many communities across the United States that have successfully, as a community, gotten hazing together for everybody in the community, and it's been very successful in decreasing the encounters. And I picked this community because I think it's very much like ours.
The town of Oakville is very fortunate to have a large and diverse ecosystem for us to enjoy. It brings us many opportunities and benefits to improve our quality of life. Having such a diverse ecosystem means that we have to be very mindful and aware of the living beings that live within it, including coyotes. Coyotes are very commonly found within North America in both rural and urban environments. Their role in the natural ecosystem is to control rodent and other small animal populations. Seeing a coyote in our natural environment is not necessarily cause for alarm. However, as they have adapted to urban environments and residents have tolerated them, coyotes can begin to lose their fear of humans and seek refuge and easy food within our neighborhoods and near our homes. When this happens, it is important that the entire community take action to ensure that the coyote keeps its fear of humans.
There's a simple, safe way to ensure coyotes remain fearful of humans and know that our homes are off limits. It's called hazing. Hazing involves making the coyote feel uncomfortable and unwelcome. It involves using actions or noises that it may not be used to or perceived. It's important to know that the coyote is more afraid of you than you are of it. To let a coyote know they're not welcome on your property, stand tall and raise your arms. Yell at the coyote, go away. Stamp your feet and make short advances towards the coyote. Use noisemakers. Clap your hands or blow a whistle. Throw sticks or other small items in the direction of, but not directly at the coyote. The coyote may not immediately run away when you yell at him. If this happens, you may need to advance a bit more towards the coyote and increase the intensity of your hazing. You can try spraying the coyote with a hose or even a super soaker. It's important to continue to haze the coyote until he completely leaves the area. As well as hazing, you should ensure your property is an unwelcome environment by removing attractants. Do not leave garbage or compost outside. Do not leave small pets unattended on your property. And remove any brush piles or small enclosures a coyote might perceive as a comfortable resting place or a den. Hazing coyotes should only take place in areas where they don't belong, such as your yard or schoolyard. You should not haze a coyote that you spot at a distance or in an area where it is expected, such as a woodland or field. If you encounter a coyote while out for a walk, keep any children you may have next to you. If your pet is small, pick it up and hold it in your arms. Do not turn your back on the coyote.